that was a wild ride. So, I've finally finished Gears of War. You all know I loved Combat Evolved. So instead of doing a review for Gears of War, I figured what would be more fun is to compare Gears of War to Combat Evolved and put them head to head. So I'm going to do this every time I finish a game, right? Every time I finish Halo 2, when I finish Halo 2 and Gears of War 2, I'll do the same thing, right? So let's get into it. So let's talk about presentation first. I'm going to do my best to try and be analytical and try and break things down as best I can. But as you guys know, I'm not the best at this sort of stuff. But here we go. So for presentation, both are very different. Gears of War, it knows what it is. And that's its biggest strength. Halo, by comparison, suffers a little bit of an identity crisis. And I'll get to that in a minute. But Gears of War, it's dark, it's gritty, it's greyed, it's blacks, it's rustic. Do you know what I mean? It knows what it is, and the presentation never falters in that regard. It's very thematically, it stays true to its identity. Whereas on Halo, there's two different sides to the Halo coin. You have the original Halo graphics, which is darker and sets a more horror-esque tone. It's a lot darker, a lot more atmospheric in that sense. But then the remake of it is much more high sci-fi fantasy. It's bright, it's vibrant, do you know what I mean? So, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but it's like it doesn't really know what it wants to be. And because of that, Gears of War takes the first one. Gears of War wins presentation, and I don't think anyone can really dispute it. I think it does. So, what other categories? Soundtrack. Bruv, there's a landslide between these two, right? I don't really need to talk about it. It's Halo. It's Halo all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. It is Halo, man. The Halo soundtrack slaps, and it slaps hard. There's times you'll just be walking, right? And suddenly the song just hits, and it's like these war drums start playing, and then a guitar solo hits, and you know it's going to go down, you know it's about to get mental, you just don't know when, but you're ready and you're hyped. It's like you have a war band behind you, just, you know, drumming you on and getting you ready for battle. Bro, Halo is nuts when it comes to the soundtrack, and it smokes Gears of War. Although the thing I do really like about Gears of War is this nice touch, that when you finish the final enemy in any confrontation, you get this like little guitar riff to let you know it's over. It's like, da-dum. It's really, really cool touch. So what other categories could we be looking at? Gameplay. Alright, probably the biggest thing. One of the biggest, things in a game is the gameplay, right? It's what we're doing moment to moment. So which one is better? That's really hard to say. I don't think there's an objective way to say which is better. Gears of War is a cover shooter, right? The maps are excellently designed. The areas are perfectly made to give you adequate cover no matter how hard the fighting is. It's quite tactical in that sense, right? You have to be smart about it, right? But the gameplay is also quite stiff. Whilst it's visceral, whilst it's violent, and you have your chainsaw and your lancer and the grenades, bro. When you throw a grenade and it blows up and you see body parts flying everywhere, that never gets old. When you get your shotgun and you just free aim it at someone and they just explode, bro, never gets old. Popping someone's head with the revolver never gets old. Just the violence in Gears of War never tires, it never ages, it's classic, and it makes every encounter, every battle worth it. It's fun. The amount of oh shit moments I witnessed playing Gears of War was amazing. And one of the things I want to give Gears of War credit for is the fact that Dom is with Marcus every step of the way. And that's important because Dom is with Marcus from the beginning to the end. Whoever you're playing with, you are with them from beginning to end. Do you know what I mean? So this bond, this kinship that they have, you as the player also develop as you back each other up, fight side by side the entire time. And I like that dynamic quite a lot. It's like their friendship, their brotherly bond is also projected onto the players. And I did like that. But Halo has these moment-to-moment organic gameplay loops of these crazy moments you cannot script, anticipate, they just happen. And as great as Gears of War is, I did not find it as fun as Halo. I didn't. It was great, but Halo has it beat. There's nothing beats the moments in Halo, and it's not part of the story. It's not part of it's Halo's strength is in the moments it creates, and that's what's special about it. And it's really hard to fully articulate. It's something you need to experience firsthand, and I'm sure many of you have, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those crazy moments in Halo. So for me, Halo wins in the gameplay department, but again, completely subjective. You could make an argument for either one. This is just my opinion. So what next? The story. Here's the thing. Gears of War is very cinematic. It's my style of story, right? You've got your cutscenes, you've got your characters, they all have their own little quirks and stuff like that. You have Dom, who's like your bruv. You have Coltrane, who's an absolute hilarious maniac, right? You have that beard guy who's like a bit more cautious, a bit more logical. You know, he sees danger and is like, well, we need to survive this still. As we're Coltrane, we'll just run it like a T-Rex locust and like, come get me, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I like the dynamics of the characters, the cinematic story. Everything was really good, really great. Halo also has a story, but it's not as in your face. It's spread out through terminals, which you can skip and miss if you're not careful. So the story can hit you quite sporadically and then not really exist at all. But it is there if you search for it, though. And searching for it, it's a very well written one at that. So my brain tells me Gears of War had the better story. But my heart goes with Halo. Because the moment where Captain Keyes was having his memories taken by the flood, that hit me in the feels more than anything that happened on Gears of War. I will forget the story of Gears of War 1. Nothing major happened. But I'll never forget that moment on Halo, bro. That is in my mind forever. So, I'm going to call it a tie on the story. Because as great as that moment was, you can miss a lot of story on Halo. You can't miss it on Gears. And I don't think people should be missing story beats. I've never been a fan of sporadically leaving story bits for people to find. I think if the story is written and it's important, everyone should get it no matter how they play. But due to it having those impactful moments, I'm going to give it a tie. Okay, this next category is a big one. Multiplayer, bro. And for me, it's another landslide victory for Halo, and it's not even close. And let me explain why. The problem I have with Gears of War Online is that it's really a victim of its own mechanics. People spam the wall sticking, and they move in a very unrealistic way, and for me, I just can't get aboard with it. It just becomes this crazy battle of you spam rolling, wall sticking, jumping off the wall and rolling again, hitting the wall, coming off the wall and rolling. It's just a really silly encounter to have. It's just ludicrous. And Halo, look man, Halo is so fun online. Those organic moments which happen in the campaign happen even more online, right? The game modes, the gameplay, it's just absolutely legendary. And in my opinion, Gears of War Online doesn't hold a candle to Halo, bruv. That's just my opinion. That's just Gears of War 1. Maybe my opinion will change in Gears of War 2. I don't know, but from my experience, I can take Gears Online or leave it. I'm really not in a rush to play it. I played it a bit. I've had fun with it. Funnily enough, I actually do better at Gears of War than I do at Halo, but that's because I'm more experienced with third-person games. But the actual gameplay online, I'm not really that fussed. It's just doesn't really hit me. I don't really have as much fun as I have playing Halo Online. I could play Halo Online all day, bruv. I could play it all day, all night. Give me Halo, I will take it. But Gears Online, I'd need to be in a certain mood to take it. So for me, Halo absolutely smokes Gears of War in this category. So it comes down to this for me. Which was most fun? Which did I ultimately prefer? And I think you all know the answer to this. I think I've already mentioned this to people, so a lot of you already know what I'm going to say. Halo Combat Evolved wins round 1 for me. It just was the perfect blend of gunplay, of just epic moment-to-moment action. The vehicles, the Banshee, the Ghost, the car you can drive, having your partner on the Gatling gun, and just the chaos of Halo, the soundtrack. the sheer impact of meeting the Flood for the first time and then realizing that fighting for survival and trying to survive is now your only option in a game where until now you was an intergalactic Terminator, and the hopelessness you feel as all you can do is run from this seemingly indestructible enemy that just eats bullets for fun, this swarm that just comes at you at the third act of the game, it dwarfs anything that happened on Gears of War. As much as I thought Gears of War was great, I didn't fall in love with it. Halo now exists in my heart forever. And yeah, it's Halo. So Halo takes it for me, and it was close. I felt Gears of War really picked up after halfway, especially in the final third of it. It got mental. I loved it. Fighting that guy at the end was really, really fun. And I'm looking forward to Gears of War 2, but now I need to jump on Halo 2 and get that started. So that was the head-to-head. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, either is fine. So yeah, there you go. Halo versus Gears of War. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And that is it, Sir Brother, now. Bum, ba, da, bum, bum, ba, da, bum, bum, ba, da, bum.